Hello, my sunflowers. How are you at the first of the year? Again, Happy New Year. I hope 2025 be nothing but a blessing. Okay.
Yes.
Now, with that being said, we hope and wish that you would subscribe to us. And we're trying to reach that 3,000. And you know, when we reach the 3,000, we're going to go 4,000 and 5,000. But nevertheless, we hope that you subscribe. Yes.
Like.
Yeah.
Comment.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's what we like.
Support.
I don't know why I had freezer burn. I don't know. My brain went. But nevertheless, please subscribe and like us. And if you get this far now in our videos, then that means you like us.
Yes.
Show us.
Thank you.
Thumbs up. Subscribe.
Yes. Become a sunflower.
Sunflowers.
Well, hello there, sunflowers, and how are you guys today? Well, I am here to do a reading on Young Miami. Well, actually, at first I intended to do a reading on Young Miami because allegedly, supposedly, rumor on the curb and what I heard, I'm not sure how true it is, that Saucy Santana had some type of sexual encounter with Diddy. And at first I was going to do a reading on Young Miami to see how she felt about that and how she was processing it. But ironically, when I went to go do some research on what was going on between the two of them, I'm actually finding out that it's Saucy Santana who's the one that is talking out on the media, going to these different podcasts, talking about Young Miami and Diddy and about the Carisha Please podcast, about how he was a bad interviewer and how he apparently got cussed out, but all he just wanted to do was just ask her the questions. And as her friend and as each other's friends, they were supposed to be having like this open and honest conversation. I guess he was supposed to be helping pry out those questions and answers she just wasn't quite ready to give out. So yeah, I'm not really sure. But yeah. So yeah, for that, I'm going to be doing a reading on Saucy Santana and seeing, does he have some beef with Young Miami? Is it true? Hey, why not go to the source to find out? Allegedly. I'm only reading the cards, and as we say on this channel, we are tarot readers, and all we can do as human beings is interpret the cards. Like we say, the cards aren't neither wrong. It's just the way we interpret it. However, at first, I was going to use this card to pick for, Saucy Santana. Well, clearly he wasn't a very fan of that. So, we're just going to put that over here because I just want to be politically correct. I'm not sure if he identifies as a she, a he, a them. So, to be on the safe side, we're just going to allow the cards to pick out what represents him. So, yes, if you're curious and you're used to seeing me read on this channel and you're wondering why I do not have a significator card down, a card to represent the person that I'm reading on, that is it. And who knows, maybe this will just be my way of transitioning into not even having to pick a card to represent that person. So, with that, let's pick the first card. Shuffle, shuffle, shuffle. Saucy, saucy, saucy. Tell me, Santana, what's going on with you in Young Miami? Y'all friends? You still cool with Carisha? You feel like Carisha's spreading lies on you? You feel like she's trying to slander your name? Making you sound scandalous? Tell me what's up, Saucy. Okay. We like it right here. Okay. The card to represent Saucy is the Six of Cups. Very interesting. So we're going to pick the block card. Okay. All right. Okay. But I always like that, though. Okay, sorry. I'm just trying to put it in like a nice place. Interesting. Okay. fears, hopes. Okay. Friends, family support. Huh? And the outcome. Well, geez. I don't think I've said there's a lot of swords in here. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 swords. We have the son of swords and the daughter of swords. Well, it's nice to see that there's no mother or father, so we can say indirectly that this is something, how's the best way to put this? Not immature, but something that is definitely in the process of developing and process of unfolding. So we're going to see how the story unfolds, because to have the past in the daughter of swords, and just for us to at the very end up at the son of swords, it's almost like coming full circle. And I don't want to say running, like chasing like yourself around in a tail. You know how some dogs chase their tails and they're just like running around the circle, achieving nothing, but thinking that they're achieving something. That's what I'm quite picking up with the beginning and way this ends. However, that is only fitting for the 2 cards surrounding Saucy, which we have the Ace of Cups, which definitely symbolizes new beginnings, specifically emotional beginnings. Maybe he had to die, let's not literally, of course, figuratively die, let something go. Maybe he had to let his friendship, relationship, partnership, connectionship with Miami go because of how she was treating him. Maybe the connection just got bitter, got sour. Because right here, I see the problem is he, or maybe he could feel, well, since I'm reading on Saucy, he himself is festering in his maybe he feels some type of betrayal from young Miami, because here with the 6 of Cups, usually it's a nostalgic card. So for this to come up in how he sees or how he's feeling in regards to young Miami symbolizes that there's definitely love there. They definitely have some deep roots together, and they definitely have a connection. Whether it was in the past, whether it is now, you know how sometimes it is when you really love somebody and they like do you wrong, or you feel like a certain type of way. Sometimes you just have to distance yourself from them. You're like, I love you and all that, but I just think we need some time apart, get clear our minds, get some clear headedness, because I see here, which is not a very good card to have as your block, honestly, is the 9 of Swords. And I always say every time this card pops up, it's somebody that is stewing in negative energy, somebody that's not able to move forward, somebody that's not able to let go of something. However, that's very weird, right? It's like he's trying to get over it. And maybe his way of getting over it is through just not spewing, that was a little bit harsh. Opening up about how he feels emotionally. Maybe these are things that he's been feeling, and maybe out of the love for his fellow friend, young Miami, he didn't want to do this because he loves her. They love the relationship that they have together. However, sometimes you have to look out for yourself and your personal well-being. And if somebody doesn't want to support you, or hey, I don't know. It could go either way. I mean, he could have been, if the allegations are true, because like they say, where there is smoke, there is some fire. So if these rumors have been going on for quite a while, then he could have betrayed her, and then this is what she does in return. But he's just like, you're spilling my business out there. So like, even if I did like sleep with Diddy, you're doing like all of this to get back at me when I have done nothing to you except probably allegedly sleep with Diddy. And because of that, I didn't put it on blast. I wasn't parading my relationship with him in front of you regardless. So to do this to me because you're hurt, it's almost like backstabbing. It's almost like backstabbing. That's how he feels. He feels like, it's kind of like all the allegations and all the analogies that I'm seeing all in this one card. Like they say, the early bird gets the worm. So get you before you get me. So if this is what we're going to do, this tit for tat, this kind of immature, because this daughter of swords here, and like I said, there's a lot of swords. So this is all mental. This is all going up in their head. Could be really going up in Saucy's head, because like I said, when I tried to pull this up, there was nothing in the media talking about how young Miami feels or anything about what she's saying about Saucy. It is clearly Saucy Santana out here, the one talking about young Miami. So because of that, from his side, he's the one that is up in his head. I really would like to know his zodiac sign. Let me see if I can find it. Watch it be an air sign. I'd be very surprised if he was an earth sign. Even more shocked if he was a water sign. Really, for real. There we go. It was too much air. It was too much air. It was too much air. He's a Libra. Go figure. That balance. If you don't know anything about how I feel on this channel, I'm sorry to every Libra out there. I'm literally not trying to have you guys catch a fade. But when I just look at celebrities out here that are Libras, and Libras are all about balance and trying to bring justice back to what has been unjust. So maybe that's the way he could be feeling, like as a retaliation, like, oh, you had done this to me, so it would only be fair in return that I dish back the dish you served me. We're all trying to be fair here. It's justice. It's all, like they say, all's love and all's love and war. I don't know. I could have definitely butchered that one. But what I see here is that with this daughter of swords, is he could be having a problem with Miami in the sense, or he himself. Let's just because masculine, feminine, it doesn't really matter, honestly. And because I'm reading on Saucy, the way he's feeling in regards to young Miami is that he's in his mental. He is somebody that's trying to process this, make it make sense, actually going a little bit more in receptive and reflecting on himself, like, have I done anything? Do I deserve this? Is this justable? Is this justifiable, what I'm getting? Like, he's sitting there trying to think and really thinking, like really sitting back and thinking on what is happening. And maybe that's why he was silent for so long. And maybe that's why we're suddenly seeing him coming out in the media and talking about young Miami like he's never done before, because he was always that supportive fan. He was always that cheerleader to young Miami, always her guru girl, was like her stylist or fashion designer. So they was like buku tight like this. So for him to like come out and talk about young Miami, it's actually kind of surprising. But we see here at the very bottom, weirdly enough, is strength. Was this strength to be quiet? Is this strength to come forward? Is this strength to come out and stand strong on your side of the story? Because there are two sides to every story. And because of that, I will maybe pull 3 cards out to the side to feel how young Miami feels, just because, like I said, there's 2 sides to every story. So I want to acknowledge both sides of this story. Because I see here that there is love, but I also feel like Saucy just feels like maybe he's outgrown the connection. Maybe there just isn't anything fruitful worth coming back and visiting to. So burn the bridge. Because here we have the hangman, and this is his fears. Metaphorically, we're going to say that this is actually very fitting for the position that it's in, because he's hoping that he's not all tied up in his mental, because the hangman is somebody who usually, let's talk about what the hangman, or what was it called? The traitor, I think it was originally called, was was all about. It was a thief, somebody that has done something wrong, and in order to show that they've learned their lesson and acknowledge and take on and say, hey, I know I need to do something about this. I'm willing to step aside, hang myself upside down, let the blood flow to my brain, and really think about what I've done and really process and really go through the torture it is to have all the blood migrate to your brain, so that therefore it's going to be in a way denying other parts of your body blood and circulation. So therefore you're putting all this emphasis on the brain, a little bit too much emphasis, honestly, but you're putting all this emphasis on your mental capacity and what you're putting into your mental, that you're hoping that it's going to help you change around, come around, that when you do turn yourself right back up and the blood slowly trickles down throughout the rest of your body, that all that energy that you put into your brain and all that blood that was circulating up here is now going to filter and trickle through your body, that when you get right side up, you're just like, I came back to my senses. Like, that's what he's hoping. He's like, I'm hoping that I'm not doing this out of anger, doing this out of adjustment, doing this without thinking it fully through, doing this out of anger, doing this out of, I'm getting you because you're getting me back. Like, he's hoping that he's not being that person, because he doesn't want to be that person. The ultimate goal of a Libra is to ultimately be a people pleaser. That's why they're completely unbalanced, honestly. I am so sorry. But, that's what happens when you're being a people pleaser, or wanting to appease the masses. You want this person to get what they need. You want this person to get what they need. You want this person to get what they need. But then you're so busy pouring it to everybody else that you forget to pour into yourself. And that's what kind of makes you unbalanced, because you're so focused on the exterior. And Libras are ruled by Venus, which is all about the beauty, which is all about the glitz, the glamour, the luxurious things of life. And hey, he could have honestly got caught up with Diddy, because that's what Diddy loves to do, right? He's like, I like you. Let me take you shopping. Let me style you up. Let me dress you up. I got you. I know how to work that. And Saucy was like, oh, yes. Give me the luxury, And hey, he could have got slipped in, he could have been bought a little bit. Something could a little bit happen, a little bit exchange. Okay, a little, yeah, we don't gotta know. Little something like that could have happened. But what we do see, though, is that Saucy has worked hard for his craft. He worked hard to get where he is today. That he is not going to allow somebody like Young Miami try to spread lies on his name, his reputation, and who he is. He's just like, I did what I had to do, whatever it is to get here, and that's my business on how I got here. However, I am not going to allow my hard work to go down the drain. I hope people are able to see the artist in me. I hope people are able to see the fashionista in me. He's hoping that people are able to look past all of this negativity that Young Miami or himself could be heaping onto himself, because this is like, who really needs this? But he's hoping that he's able to bring the attention back to his craft, because that's honestly what he's in for. He's in for the, like I said, the finer things of life. And so was Miami. That's why they were friends. They both were willing to get to the top, and both willing to use their looks and their body if they have to get where they needed to go, and step on people that they did not care to step on. Literally, if you're gonna roll with Diddy, you kind of gotta have that mentality. And both of them, if that is the case, benefited from it. And both of them definitely wanted to be around. If he so did have some type of affair with Diddy, he definitely was benefiting. But what I see here, though, he feels as though he's stepping out, that he's almost isolated in this situation, that he's thrown out to the wolves almost. Because here we have the 5 of swords, and we're back to the swords again. And this is what the friends, the family, loved ones feel about his situation, what he's going through in Young Miami. People are feeling as though, or he could even be feeling as though he's separated, that there is a clear division, that there is a either you for her or you for me. It's no in between. You have to pick a side. And maybe he's feeling like it's starting to become where people are starting to side eye him, starting to judge him. That's why he's so hoping people are able to like look at his career, because he's just like, maybe he may, like I said, maybe these are all allegations. He's like, hey, I was never a titty boy. Do not wrap me up in that. Do not attach Saucy Santana to that. How dare you? Like, that's how he's feeling. He's trying to, maybe that's another reason why he's trying to get at Young Miami, because Young Miami was just like, you sleeping with Diddy. And he's just like, don't you dare put that on me just because you are under the heat, because you wanted to stand out for Diddy. He was like, don't put that back on me and try to ricochet just because I was your best friend. I wasn't the one sleeping with Diddy here. Like, that's how he's feeling. So if that's how he's coming off, we have the Son of Swords here at the very end, where he is ready to put the gauntlet down if he needs to, because this is the sword and it is coming down. So he's kind of like, be careful, guys, because at once I was holding the sword. I wasn't taking charge and I wasn't aiming, but I'm going to aim now. I'm going to defend. It still may be in a little bit of malice and not fully thought out through, but it's just trying to, honestly, nobody wants to go down with Diddy at this point. So anybody's going to fight for their lives if they have to, and throw anybody and everybody underneath the bus if they have to get the heat off of them. If it's going Sorry about that, guys. Now, what I was saying before, both I and the computer had gotten hot in here, as we was just getting over here, not excited, but heated about it. Come on. Even Saucy Santana's energy got the computer overheated because he was trying to get the heat off of him. He was just like, literally. Wouldn't you try to do that if you had somebody trying to pin you connected to the diddler? I would fight for my life too, honestly. Sorry, Boo, love you, but bye. No, I wouldn't be like that. I have a little bit more loyalty than that. At least I would think that. I would think that. Depends how long we've known you, actually. What have you done for me? Kind of like, have you been there for me? Have you really been like a loyal friend? Or were you just using me? Were you just trying to get the benefits? Like, you got to really look at that. Like, everybody you call your friend, how much of a friend are they really? And this is what Saucy Santana is showing us. So, sorry. That was probably so loud, especially while I was talking. But this card popped out, and this represents how... Okay, this card, I think it was the sun, but we're about to find out. This card represents how Young Miami is feeling about Saucy Santana and the whole Diddy situation. Oh, no, I was definitely wrong. It is the 5, 6, 7, 8. It is the, sorry, Roman numerals here. 8 of Wands, which is actually a nice, surprising card. She's ready to move on. She's ready to move on. She's ready to start something fresh, because usually the 8s, especially the 8 of Wands, has a symbolization of moving on, moving forward, especially on a creative project. Sometimes you need to abandon ship, reassess, reprocess, maybe do something, add something, do some funk to a project to get it to that final step. Or sometimes you just becomes too much of a burden and you didn't jump ship or realize the difficulties before you got to 9 and 10. So because of that, here we are at the 8, and an 8 is a very good number because 8 also symbolizes transformations in that limbo period, which would happen to fight how Saucy is feeling with this 8 here, with the 8 of the Eight of Pentacles. So we see right here already the two of them with his hopes and how Miami is feeling. They're both kind of like in this competition, him with his career and her with this whole thing about, so let's pull some more cards. Is it true? Is it not true? How is she feeling? Because whatever it is, she just feeling like, just is how she's feeling. So the Emperor. Yeah, that's how she's feeling. She was just like, get me unattached from Diddy, because that's what this Emperor stands for. And maybe even Saucy, because they can both represent masculine energy. Maybe whatever this dominant energy is, maybe whatever this aggressive energy is. Let's think about what masculine energy is, since, like I said, I want to be politically correct here. And I don't want to assign any particular energy or gender to Saucy Santana. So to keep it fluid, this Emperor can symbolize somebody that is, and that's with anybody in any reading here. After all, energy is all fluid. We all have masculine and feminine in us. It just depends on which one we choose to express. Or do we have a good temperance or a good balance where we can have an equal amount of masculine and feminine flowing through us while still maintaining a sense of our identity and who we really are? Here, however, though, with this Eight of Wands, we have young Miami ready to move on, whatever the situation is. This is, if you want to think about it, it looks like a campfire getting ready to get sparked, getting ready to get lit, like a campfire. So maybe there's some heat. Maybe she's getting ready to come back. Maybe she's ready to, maybe this could be young Miami, like I said, masculine and feminine. It doesn't have to flow to any particular gender. So maybe she's ready to become the aggressive one, get ready to become the aggressor, somebody that attacks back, that is like, you were saying all this about me, saying all this. So, maybe it's going to, we're not sure, because we're going to see how this is going to play out in the media. Is she going to come back? I know it's been about a week or a week and a half since this interviews come out, but it always seems like Saucy Santana seems to have a reason to talk about her in an interview, no matter what it is. And here we have young Miami, surprisingly at the end of this is going to rise amongst the ashes. Not quite like Judgment, but almost like Judgment, because here is the wands. Like I said, these wands right here, the match that was getting ready to get struck, that was getting ready to go. This is what comes out of it. A butterfly, some transformative energy, because the Eight of Wands. And then here we are with the Six of Wands. So because of that, when she gets in this Emperor energy, she's going to feel like she's going to do it with elegance. She's going to do it with grace. And actually, I think she's going to match Saucy Santana on his energy and what he's putting out, and being like almost a very great feminine energy in that sense, when you can be a mirror to be able to reflect back the kind of energy somebody is projecting onto you. Because interestingly enough, the butterfly can symbolize and can go with can go with swords, which all has to do with mental, has to deal with the airwaves, has to deal with frequency. So we'll see how this story unfolds. Let's see what the bottom is. Ooh, okay. She might be timing up for Saucy, because here we have the Seven of Pentacles, which I'm bringing it back to that Eight of Pentacles, which is right here with that Saucy. Seven of Pentacles is just one step away from the Eight of Pentacles. But here we have, usually the Seven of Pentacles, we see here she's getting all of her things in the material or physical world, maybe some evidence, maybe some receipts. She's getting it all lined up. Like they say, you're getting all your ducks in a row or all your chicks in a line. It's probably another phrase I butchered, but that's how she could be feeling, like she's trying to make sure she cross the T's and dot the I's, gets the P's and the Q's, makes sure that she has everything in line, setting back, looking back at everything, like before she like really, like I said with him, before she puts the gauntlet down on him, she wants to make sure, am I jumping to conclusions? Do I have enough evidence to say that I feel like I could see that you were secretly having an affair with the diddler and I didn't know about it? Are there some things that I overlooked? Were there some things that I, as a person who equally wanted to climb to the top, some things that I wanted to ignore about my bestie just because I liked you and I wanted to keep you around in my circle? These are things that they have to question. So it definitely sounds like the friendship between Saucy Santana and Young Miami is on the rocks. But just to pull one card, one final card to symbolize. Pop him back in there. Just to find one. Ooh, oh, okay. Just, ooh, wow, okay. So what we're going to do here is shuffle these cards just to get a final card to see between their friendship. See, is there a future for Young Miami and Saucy Santana? Will there be reconciliation? Will there be a fight? Will there be an internet brawl? Will they just decide to go both their ways and say, hey, you said what you said, I said what I said. Let's just move on from each other. Let bygones be bygones. We'll just have a bittersweet end with each other. How's it going to be for the two of them? Okay. 2 cards popped out. Well, 3 cards popped out. We have the burden card. Is this burden going to be lifted, or is it just going to something that's going to be weighing down on them and that we're going to see more of this in the future? A tower card could, metaphorically a tower, because these are different cards. This symbolizes an institution more, or maybe conforming, or maybe even being isolated, hinting back to that hangman. Maybe, like I said, maybe they'll go their separate ways. She'll do her, he'll do them. Let's see what this final card says. The ring. That's actually a very interesting card. Whatever it is, a ring that symbolizes a commitment. So they both going to stand on business. They both are going to feel the way they feel about the situation. However it's going to be, it's probably going to be a burden. They probably going to have let bygones be bygones. You know what? We're just going to separate from each other. The best thing we could do is just conform. You know, I put myself up in a tower. I put myself away from you. I put up a barrier. And maybe even the institution, like they take this to the industry. They're both committed to the industry, both committed to making the money. So if that's the case, then what are they going to have to do to both save their image? Drop it. That's what I said before I got cut off. This whole entire situation with Diddy, and this whole situation about freak offs, and this whole situation about power dominance and power money driven crazy, is just, Hollywood's just in a mess. The institution is a whole burden. It really is. Hollywood, metaphorically and literally, that's why we're kind of seeing Hollywood on flames. That's just a hot take, but we all know that secretively. But sad for those that were affected, that aren't, sad for those that were collateral damage, honestly. However, just because of all that, we still see that they are going to be committed to the cause. Both Miami and Saucy are going to be committed to the cause. So if they want to continue in the industry and have any sake for a future, they're just gonna have to drop this. And that's just one burden, one thing that they're just going to have to carry on their backs, or like another secret, because that's just one thing that I don't think they want to get themselves tied up into. And there's just going to have to be a point. You're just going to have to just drop something and say it's not worth it for the sake of your livelihood. So with that being said, I hope you enjoyed this reading on Saucy Santana and a little bit about Young Miami. Like I said, I still found a way to get her in there. Just want to get like both sides of the story, just so we can see the full picture of what's going on here. And tell me, do you guys leave your comments down below? Do you want me to do a separate reading on Young Miami and how she's feeling? Are you curious? Are you interested in that? Please let me know and I will do that. And we will see. And with that being said, please do leave your comments down below. How do you feel about this whole situation, about their friendship, about the whole from the start to the beginning, how they got there, how they met, how they supported each other or not, the whole Carisha Please interview, the whole Saucy Santana, Carisha smear campaign. Like, how you guys feeling? Put your comments down below. Let's get a conversation, share some opinions out there. Are you guys a fan of Saucy? Are you a fan of the Young Miami? Are you guys picking teams? Is there a side to pick? Well, with that being said, I hope you enjoyed it. Please give this video a thumbs up if you have not. Sorry if it went a little bit lengthy. I did kind of squeeze in a slightly a second reading as well. But with that being said, please subscribe to this channel if you have not subscribed already. And please, Baby Crone asked Lady Crone to do a reading on Melania Trump and her marriage with our current president. So please check out that video. It was actually very insightful, just like this reading was. So with that being said, I hope to see you guys in the next one. Sunflowers! Also, just as a side tangent, while I was shuffling, I did come across to think about the whole where's those 3 cards that I had for Young Miami that I found very interesting. So here we have like I was talking about, these are the wands metaphorically that are right here, and that the butterfly is metaphorically rising out of, but the emperor was in between that. So if we want to look at that about like trees, and maybe like the energy beneath her feet has been sparked. Maybe she has some energy sparked within her. She's feeling this with her whole body, or maybe she's going to come transformed out and is going to be more aggressive and be more about getting her money and focusing about herself. She has always been about that, always talked about how she wants to get that money to support her family and be a mom. So maybe she's going to come out emerged in this situation even more in that sense. In the sense of this whole situation with Saucy, Diddy, all of this has transformed me as a woman. And even though I might have came out a little bit more harder and a little bit more masculine, but I came out a different way with a different mentality and a different approach to my current situation. I'm going to lock down and I can get what's mine. So that's how I felt. That's what I just wanted to tap in a little bit about Young Miami when I was shuffling, because I was just thinking about the cards in this reading while I was shuffling, getting ready to close out and go to bed. So with that being said, all right, sunflowers.